how they are inspiring, right? So here, do I need really a divine authority for me to be good, for me to learn good? No, li pa important. Someone who is a Tirthankara, who is a normal person, li pe faire sous effort, li pe vin a Tirthankara, so I can verily do it also. I will follow the path. Li pare comme Buddha. Buddha initially in that religion, Buddhism, he was not he did not consider himself God, and people were not revering him as God. He was a master, a common man who got the right knowledge, who got moksha, nirvana, and who became a great teacher, a great master. So where is that divine authority needed? It's not needed really, parce que nous avons tous l'exemple devant nous, we can follow, right? So now we are definitely saying that the Shraman tradition do not accept the authority of the Vedas, right? So in the context of Buddhism, the founder was a mortal human being, just like I told you, and who got liberation at the end, right? The core Buddhist teaching of the Four Noble Truths includes the path to liberation through the teachings of Buddha. Okay, but Buddhists, je pas dire nous follow the Vedas, no, they follow the teachings of the Buddha. A man, he lived something and he practiced his own teachings, which he got from meditation. And voila, he gained Iran. So that is a very practical thing to follow, right? So Jainism and Buddhism both share a concept of liberation that is within the grasp of human beings themselves, not requiring divine intervention. You know, c'est pas the God who is going to come and give you the moksha. Hinduism aussi cause là, actually. I get moksha or not depends on what? Depends on my karma. And this is what is called the law of causation. Aussi. Law of causation veut dire the law of cause and effect. Si vous plantez la graine margose, vous get margose. You're not going to get mango. So, do we need divine intervention pour faire un la graine margose une margose? It will become automatically les plus poussés. C'est qui Konchandogya Upanishad, oubliez ça pour l'instant là, right? Since we are a believer of the soul, peut-être nous pas pour accepter ça l'exemple qui nous peut de nous là que quand nous plantons la graine margose, nous pouvons margose, donc nous pouvons dire nous pouvons dire ce qu'il faut le hindouisme là, je peux dire bon Dieu dans sa la graine margose là, that's why it will become margose, etc. Okay. But let's see, logically speaking, put aside the soul aspect, put aside God, everything. It's all about the law of causation, cause and effect, cause and effect. Karma aussi c'est comme ça, action and reaction, action and reaction. If I need to get moksha, it will all depend on my action, nothing more. Même si moi fais un mauvais, si tu y a divine intervention, même si moi tu méchant and all, bon, Dieu tu supposé capable de faire ma libération, but he won't do that, no? So divine intervention is not necessary then. It's all about learning the whole process by ourselves. Bien sûr, we need certain guidance, which the teachers, Buddha, the Tirthankara, tout ça, they don't know the guidance. But the rest, don't know our karma, right? So I guess you have, I guess. Hindu philosophy is often considered as two distinct categories, Astic and the Gnostic one. Astic school of philosophy, which accept Veda, and the Gnostic one. Jainism and Buddhism might be included in the later category by some, while others might regard them as distinct religions, right? Albeit religions with strong links to Hinduism, and would find the classification unhelpful. We have certain scholars qui se disent que Jainism, Buddhism sont astic. Astic is a believer in the scriptures, pas nécessairement, like believer in karma, c'est qui believe in doing good karma, good results, and astic already. Buddhism, scholars, they disagree with it. They say that Buddhism and Jainism, they are Gnostic, but Zudpa believe in the divine authority. They don't believe in the Vedas, etc. Importantly, astically Gnostic, even Gnostic is a believer in good karmas. That's fine, that's enough to get moksha. We actually don't need to be fully astic to get moksha, right? As I said, even the Gnostic is doing a good karma, is helping the person. He is also worth to reach the supreme. Maybe in that one birth, Lipapukapa, Lipu take birth again, he or she will surely reach the supreme because the hard work, it will pay off, one day. So this is a bit this is a guide for you to answer question. You have many things to include when it speaks with Boku shows, right? You have to include all these things. Pour gagner 12 points, right? So try. Next question on the Shraman. Analyze the relationship between Hinduism and the Shraman tradition. You see, the question don't come directly on Buddhism, on Jainism. It will come under the Shraman tradition. Bon, if ever you get a question directly, Buddhism, Jainism, because this is the only paper you have, the specimen paper, right? So let's see. Donc, the Shaman tradition share a common value system and a framework that reject the authority of the Veda. So we know already. These ancient texts are considered by Astic darshan to be of divine origin. Ban Astic, ban follower of Hinduism, for them, the Veda is of divine origin. You know the whole story, Kumanungani. It has been argued that accepting the authority of the Veda is a necessary part to be a Hindu. So when Hindu is accept the Veda, this is usually what it is, right? And so the Shraman tradition, which include Jainism and Buddhism, can be considered separate religious tradition. Some, as I told you, should consider it astic, ena consider it to be Gnostic. However, because they share history, cultural context, philosophical concept, they could also be described as Gnostic form of Hinduism. This argument can be considered from the opposite perspective. You can examine the concept which are now considered part of Hinduism more broadly, which originated in when strongly influenced by the shaman, which include this moksha samsara. That is, there are major difference between these two, say the Veda, and we assume the God, the soul, etc. But all come from the Veda. But apart from that, apart from the authority of the Veda, they believe, all of them, both of them, Hinduism and Shraman tradition, on other concepts, right? Like the samsara, cycle of birth and death, the karma, the law of causation, the moksha, on ethics, both of them, they believe in. So that is what you have to do here to analyze the relationship between these two. Kifia Zatena, certain similarities, yeah, because they share actually same history, cultural context, and philosophical context as well. To Sala in crop up from its particular place, culturally similar, peut-être pas tout à fait similar, but from the same cultural context, they have the same history, right? So there are certain similarities between these Hinduism and the Shraman tradition. So you go on explaining, on writing on the similarities. So you can debate between different traditions about the concept and practices which they share. You know, the belief, les un petit peu différent, like Vedas and Napakwa and Veda, etc. But some contexts, they are same. You can discuss about their concept, which they believe in, and Lutlaki believe, Hinduism believe this, and the shaman believe in other things. You can discuss that also. Mais seulement make sure je parle trop dans trop beaucoup de détails, je développe une trop long, right? Particularly in the case of Jainism, there may be many individuals who incorporate elements of both shaman and ascetic Hindu in their practice and in their belief. Quand on cause Jainism, quand on fait Jainism, on fait the 9 realities. Among the 9 realities, il y a un qui appelle Jiv, soul, papier. Mais par contre, Bouddhisme, il dit au pain en soul. So, a certain similarity qui nous gagne entre Shraman avec Hindouisme. C'est ça. Mais Shraman, thanks to Jainism, Bouddhism, n'est pas inclus là-dedans. Right? And bien sûr, Gandhi, I told you last time how Gandhi has been very influenced by this. Et Gandhi, il était un Hindu. Gandhi influenced the Hinduism. Et the inspiration of Gandhi came from the Shraman tradition, from Jainism, right? So Hinduism and Shraman tradition share concept of karma, blah, blah. Bon, someone c'est qui m'en explique là-haut. You can write it there or here, whatever. They consider liberation to be the same goal and all. But this is what I told you here to write. The term shaman, it means the seeker, the ascetic, the one who perform austerity, yogic practices common across different Hindu tradition, develop in the same ascetic circle, the same historical background, same cultural background, right? So you can write about their ways of getting moksha, right? Hinduism, in a certain way, mostly in their rituals. Zutkapav also include idol worship in it. But puisque we are referring to the Vedas, maybe not. Mais à moins si Zut précisait que in Hinduism, pas in Ved, but later on Hinduism developed the concept of idol worship. Si dans une phrase Zutkapav explique, then it's worth there. Parce que Ved encourage the worship of the formless one. Donc, ou pas qu'à mettre ça ensemble avec Ved. À moins si vous pouvez dire que Hinduism arrive get un changement dans lui. OK? Where idol worship crop up. Du monde commence à faire idol worship à ce point que partout in idol worship and worship of almost everything, right? So, it peut créer plein de problèmes, superstitions and all. So, si je garde écrit dans one sentence also, then it will be good here, right? Parce que shaman tradition in crop up, in grow, in achieve, because Hinduism tiene saban problem là. See, Hinduism was following the Vedas as they were. Pati puena sa major problems là. De la pati puena shamans, right? That's why I'm telling you, si je peux écrire sa idol worship là, mention que comment Hinduism in censé linger idol worship dans lui, right? So again, I'll tell you, this is just an idea